Can I do it this time, Master? Okay, Franken, you go. Hello, everybody. It's the Thrip and Franken show with my master, Dr. Thrip. Hallo, guten Tag. And me, Frankenstein. Did I do good, Master? Yeah, you did good. Okay, you go from here. Okay, so welcome to the Thrip and Franken show. So this month, what is our discussion going to be on? End of the world. Oh yes, End of the World month on Random Horror all throughout September. So basically the theme here is End of the World, apocalyptic stuff, as we have been having those reviews and stuff throughout the month. That is what Horror Us told us we need to do. Oh, yes, it is, Master. Okay, so, Franken, tell me, in the short time you have lived, what movies have you seen that tend to revolve around the end of everything? Well, I do like zombie films. I like, the George A. Romero Dead series, and I like a lot of the other things with zombie films. They always tend to have, humans, they're living outnumbered by the dead, and, I think that's apocalyptic. Yeah, it is. Very good. So, other things that I think are also accurate with the end of the world is alien films. Oh yes, like alien invasions, like Independence Day. Well, sort of, but the humans won that one, and then it was 20 years before they made a sequel again. Oh, yes, it was. The sequel I don't think was good. Yeah, it was unnecessary. So, other things. What I have seen is Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Oh, is it, didn't we see that one with, wasn't that the 1978 film with Donald Sutherland we saw? Yeah, good memory. Your memories are improving, my boy. Oh, good, Master. Yes, it's like, people's bodies are getting taken over by body-snatching aliens, and in the end, when we think it's all over, the woman goes up to the main character, and I'm sure a lot will know this now, if you're all listening. We get, Donald Sutherland doing the iconic body snatcher thing. Yeah, we do. So, other apocalyptic films like Knowing with Nicolas Cage and Rose Byrne. Oh yes, I remember that one. We saw that the other day, when disasters were happening with the dates and numbers. Yeah, and when the numbers ran out, the world ended, didn't it? Yes, Master, it did. I should have warned you all in advance now. The things we discuss could be spoiler alertive if you have not seen it, because we are delving into, films where the world ends. Okay, so just warning you listeners now. So what else would you, do you like about the film Knowing? Oh, well, I liked how the sun got bigger because, the sun's not meant to do that in, till the year 5 billion, like in Doctor Who. Yeah, I understand that, yeah, but we're not talking about science fiction now. But what about Knowing? That's science fiction. Yeah, but it falls into the category of End of the World. Oh, I understand, Master. Sorry. It's okay, my boy. Okay, so, moving on. Other apocalyptic films. Now, there's the film we saw back in the summer that we went to see, Life. Oh, yes, Life. I didn't think that was as good, Master. You said it was like Gravity meets Alien. Yeah, it is, because the gravity aspect is where they're all floating in space, and the alien bit is because there's an alien presence that evolves throughout the film from bacteria. Yes, that they call Kelvin. Yeah. So the things they do in that movie, I did not like how sudden Ryan Reynolds' death was in that film. Oh, yes, Master. I thought he would survive. In fact, I thought they were all going to. Yeah, listeners, a spoiler alert for you. The movie ends where the alien gets to Earth. Yeah, because it wiped out life on Mars. That's why there was no aliens. And this alien bacteria, he is, Kelvin, grows and mutates from a little cell to this big alien thing, and it gets down on Earth. So the world ends. Well, not exactly, because we find that for some reason the alien bit is like dormant, and it pretty much ends where the fishermen come in on Jake Gyllenhaal's pod as the wrong one got shot into deep space. And the film just ends there, so we don't actually know for sure if it is the end, but it leaves us thinking that, doesn't it? Oh yes, I guess it does. Okay, moving on to another subject in the end of the world. The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Oh yes, Master. Should it be 5? Well, in some stories it is the White Horseman is conquest, the Black Horseman is the famine, the Red Horseman is war, and the Skeleton Horseman is death. Or sometimes it's the White Horseman who is pestilence, and the Black Horseman and the rest of the horsemen stay as they are. But how do you like to see it as, Master? Well, in many ways, I kind of like the idea of 5 horsemen of the apocalypse, but for some reason we have, the 4 horsemen. I don't know why, but it just is. Oh, right. I see, Master. Yeah. So usually in the Book of Revelations, that is when the world will end because of the 4 horsemen. Now, I have this theory here. Oh, yes, Master, what is that? Well, I think that the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse might have been in it a lot sooner than we thought. Oh? Yeah. You see, I think of the 4 horsemen that have been in the Bible. I mean, I think that Herod is like the horseman of war. He has the whole army and he wanted them to go and kill every baby boy in Bethlehem. And I think that, Moses is pestilence after he had God unleash those plagues on the Pharaoh's people and stuff. And I think that, John, Jesus' cousin, is the famine because he walked in the desert and he fed up wild honey and locusts and, did not eat so much. And I think that Jesus is death because he died and then he came back. Oh, I've never thought of it like that before, Master. So, but what about the 4 horsemen throughout history? Oh yeah, listeners, one thing, I hope I do not offend anyone with the talk about these 4 horsemen on my theory or anything. Yes, Franken, yeah, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. That is probably my favourite chapter in the Book of Revelations. Oh, they're also in X-Men comics. Yeah, the 4 horsemen of apocalypse. And what do you think throughout history? Of all the things I've taught you throughout this year in your history, who do you think the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse could be to you? Well, I think that I think that Alexander the Great was conquest, and Vlad the Impaler was Vlad the Impaler was like death, and King Henry VIII was the famine, and But also, I think that Adolf Hitler is war. Yeah, I can actually see what you mean by that. Yeah, yeah, that could be very much true. You know, if they all existed in the same timeline, maybe that would have been the end of the world. So other things with the end of the world. What do you think? You know, the Mayans' prediction saying the world will end on December 21st, 2012 at 11 minutes past 11 in the AM. Well, Master, looking at that now, it was a load of bollocks because, you know, the world didn't end. We're still here now. I'm here. You know, I mean, I wouldn't have been born if you had died. I know, I know. Very good. Because, you know, I did make you in your lab. Yeah, the Mayans, they believed the world would end then, but I think it was just the end of the calendar that was the end. So, it's the end of the world. Now, I want to go through, like, sort of a top 10, sort of top 5 with you now, my boy. So, what do you think, from the least likely to the most likely, do you think the world will end? Well, I think we might get a zombie apocalypse more than a Terminator apocalypse. Okay, so it's what are you going to put at number 10 for the least likely way? I don't know, Master. There's so many ways it can happen. Can we just cut it down to a 5? Okay then. Your top 5 theories on how the world could end from the least likely to the most likely. I think number 5 I would put robot apocalypse, machines taking over like in the Terminator. Okay, is your number 4? Number 4, zombies. Okay. What else? My number 3 would be climate change. Okay. And your number 2 possibility? Asteroid. Okay, yeah, because, you know, scientists today say that there is like an asteroid with our name on it, but I'm sure we have the way to stop it. Okay, so, you could stop it. Okay, so what is your number 1? Aliens. You think the world is going to end with aliens taking over? Yes. Do you believe in aliens? Because I do, because the universe is just too big. Yes. And to the aliens, aren't you humans the aliens? Yeah, I guess you are. Am I the alien? Yeah. And to the rest of humanity, you're like a creation, a monster. Because you was born out of the dead in an electrical storm. You know, your heart was blessed by a trickster demon. Anyway, we're getting off subject here, so you think that is your number 1. Well, here are my top 5 ways from the least likely to the most likely. So for my number 5, I would say zombie apocalypse. For number 4, I would, because, you know, zombie apocalypse, it could happen. It really could. And for my number 4, robot apocalypse, because the Internet of Machines and everything is very, very advanced these days, especially with the robots. My number 3, I would say, is you know, Asteroid. And my number 2, I would say, because like you said, there, you know, according to a theory from Professor Brian Cox, that is a possibility. You know, but I'm sure like we have the technology to change its course or something. There was one that was meant to hit the Earth this year, but Ha! It has not done so. So I think we're pretty much in the clear there. And what's your number 2, Master? Climate change. Global warming. It is happening all the time, but to me that is evolution. Ooh, evolution, like that Charles Darwin theory that turned out to be true. Yeah, there is evidence of it. Okay, so my number 1, I would say, is nuclear war. Nuclear war? Yeah, I think the world is going to end with nuclear war. That is the most likely way, because we do have weapons of mass destruction in the world. Will we ever destroy them? I do not know. But what I do know is that the world can end by doing that. Oh, so we're going to end. That's how the world ends. Yeah, that is what I think. The world could end. Master, I can hear noises from outside. Those will be extras or something. I thought this room, we're not in a soundproof room, okay? We are in a small basement. We're in my basement. Odds are one of my patient victims is pretty much trying to escape. So, they won't get far. I have traps in motion for them. Oh, yes, you do, Master. Which patient do you think it might be? I don't know, but back onto this podcast. We have podcast technology. We have the microphone and stuff. Doesn't this go to Random Horror YouTube channel too? Yes, it does. We send the recording to Horrorus and he will put it up around the last Friday of this month, September. Yes, we were on the last Friday in August when we started. Yeah, bad films. Okay, so, what else do you think the world could end? What other movies have you seen that are quite apocalyptic? Well, Master, I liked the Stephen King the Stephen King adaptation of The Mist, not the series, the film. The series is boring, but the film was good, but the ending was crap. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Anything else? The Walking Dead? Oh, yeah. There's the spin-off too, Fear the Walking Dead, which is returning very soon. Well, no, it's actually back on the TV, I think, by the time this podcast is up. But, The Walking Dead is back in October. And I'm sure our listeners here are into the whole Walking Dead feel. So, Master, what programs do you think are apocalyptic? Well, there's Z Nation, which I watched for a while, but then I lost interest. Then there was what others were there? Pretty much like you said, there's a lot of end of the world stuff. We seem to revolve it around fiction, apocalypses and that. Yes, do you think the devil might come to Earth? Maybe, and that's just when he will get out the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Ooh, Apocalypse. What about the film Apocalypse Now? Yeah, that was a Vietnam War film, because people were saying that the Vietnam War could possibly, be like the end of the world or something, but it did not. Oh, so that's a bit misleading. Probably, yeah, a bit misleading. Okay, so before we go, we are going to read some crazy letters from some of our listeners. Oh boy, why don't you get the letters and we can read them, Franklin? Oh yes, Master. I'll get right away, Master. Ho ho. Fan mail. Anyways. Okay, so what does our letter say then, okay, so here is one from a person called Pencil Dick.
Okay, yeah, this is a question. This is a letter from me. Dr. Thrip. Do you think the world could possibly end where two giant testicles come down onto planet Earth and enslave mankind? No, I think that is a load of bollocks, literally, very accurately, and if you are listening to this, I'm sure you and your friends are having a laugh. Okay, next one, letter. Oh, this one's for you, Franklin.
Oh, could you read it for me, Master?
Oh, yeah. Franklin, if you have a... Could you please tell me what is it like having two hearts?
I don't know. I just feel like it's just like a heart, that beats only with a split second between each other.
Okay then. Well, let us look through the other mail. And here is one for the both of us. So, it says, Dr. Thrip, are you really a surgeon? Yeah, I am a German surgeon that specializes in black market human organ trading. I should say, yeah, so that bit, the organs. Okay, and Franken, the one is, for you, how old are you?
I don't know, Master. I was born in December 2016, so that must make me about 10 months. Does it make me 10 months?
Yeah, I think it probably 9 months, I would say. Okay, so, that is pretty much it, with our mail. So yeah, end of the world month. So enjoy what is left of that in the month of September on Random Horror. Me and Franken will be back next month with a Halloween special.
Oh yes, Master, my first Halloween. I'm so excited. Is it really like Christmas for horror people?
Yeah, it is. You'll see, Franken, he was born in December and stuff. You can see it in the Halloween Season 2 prequel. Halloween in January Season 2 prequel on Random TV. But yeah. Your first Halloween, are you excited?
Oh yes, Master, I really am.
Oh, good. Well, we'll be back next month with a random on this podcast, the Thrip and Franken show. Is there anything you want to say, Franken, before we go?
Yes, thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you for listening. So yeah, that is it for this month's Thrip and Franken show. So till next time, I bid you all auf Wiedersehen, goodbye, yeah?
Yeah, goodbye. See ya.
Yeah.